Hello and welcome to fabulous Foundation Field for another GLSCL matchup. Blake Griffin, Luke Westpoli alongside. We are here for some more Joes versus Scouts action. Every time the Joes play the Scouts, it's always a good game. We'll hope to maybe break the losing streak. We've had a couple of games against them. Hope to win a game at home as the Joes are getting ready to take the field. We'll bring you the Kettering Health starting lineups. Starting at the top of the order, lead things off, the all-star Grant Miller out in center field. Walker Bridges will return to the lineup. He'll play third and bat second. Bat in third, Dick Wimmers, he'll take place behind the dish. Parker Lester in the four-hole, playing second base once again. Cal Brazier in the five, a familiar spot now. In a couple of games he started there. He'll play over there at the hat corner at first base. Evan Uller getting the night off in the six-hole. He'll DH. Seven-hole, Sam Lowe at shortstop. Steven Stickler out there in left field. He'll bat eighth, and Andrew Patrick rounding things off in the nine-hole. He will play right field. Starting on the bump for your Joes tonight will be Tyler Hudson. We've been kind of waiting for Hudson to make another start. He's come out of the bullpen his last time out. Looked very comfortable as he's walking out to the mound right now. But the Joes just a half game behind the Steam tonight as they play the Southern Iowa Copperheads at Bob Wren Stadium, kind of having to control their own destiny to try to make the playoffs.
Absolutely, you control your own destiny. You're going to see the Steam and Scouts a lot these last couple weeks of the season, and if you take care of business, you're in the playoffs, and if you don't, you don't. So the Joes really with a lot of control about how their season turns out with these last couple weeks on deck.
Well, we look at some stats so far for Tyler Hudson as he looks to make yet another start. We saw him be good against the Steam before. I have to look and see if he's made an appearance against the Scouts. But Tyler Hudson out of Southern Indiana, the University of Southern Indiana, Villa Hills, Kentucky. A big 6'4" right-hander to right the ship once again as the Joes dropped a tough one the last time we saw him. We went up to Elder High School just yesterday, and the Joes were ahead and were unable to hold on to the lead, lost 7-6 in walk-off fashion. A little tough for Joes, but the vibes looked happy today. Everybody looked to be okay, aside from maybe Casey Fink, who's not starting today. He got ejected yesterday. He's kind of been labeled the helper today. Is the resident water boy for tonight's proceedings. With Tyler Hudson making appearance number 8, start number 3, 22 and a third innings, 29 strikeouts, only just 4 walks, 12 hits, and 1 save for a 1.2 ERA. His only win of the season comes against the Steam. Has pitched against the Scouts just once. That's the last time we saw him. Came out of the bullpen in that one, pitched 4 innings in that 4-2 victory, gave it 1 hit, and got that save. He will lead things off against Tyler Haskins, who will bat at the left-handed batter's box to start things. Beautiful day once again here in Hamilton. The weather's really cleared up for us over the last week or so. 84 degrees, sunny, hardly a cloud in the sky. First pitch of the game sent high into the air out into the left field. Going back is Bridges, almost able to make the catch, loses his hat and his glasses in the process. A long first pitch of the game goes foul for Tyler Haskins. No balls, 1 strike. As Hudson will watch Haskins find his way back in. The 0-1, just going to miss upstairs. Saw Tegenborg start yesterday. A little unconventional, his first start of the season. Almost reminiscent of what Tyler Hudson had against the Steam when he was not used to starting, but started anyway. Went very well as that one's ripped down the right field line. Stigler in pursuit. That's going to stay fair. Haskins, or rather Andrew Patrick out there in right field. It's the first time we've seen him in right field on this season, so I am a little bit confused. But Tyler Haskins going to start things off well for the Scouts, jumping all over Tyler Hudson. Smacked one down the right field line for leadoff double.
Yeah, that one was hit well. It was pulling down the line and just finished fair. Time for the Joes to take care of business, though, as you got a man in scoring position, nobody out. We'll see how Tyler Hudson will be tested by this one.
We'll bring up Tommy Rover. 13 RBIs in the season from Rover. We see Cal Brazier come in, but not bunting on the first pitch is Rover. We'll swing through that one for strike one.
Rover was an all-star for the South this year.
Playing short today. Didn't play short in the All-Star game. Played second.
Yeah, played second base in the All-Star game.
Long pause from Tyler Hudson. Lots of checks. The 0-1. Big swing and a miss off the outside corner for strike two.
Rover went 0 for 2 in the All-Star game at the plate, but did have a walk. Base runners were really hard to come by in that game for both sides.
Just 6 hits, couple of hit batters at the end. No balls, 2 strikes. Hudson looking for his first strikeout of the ball game here in the first with a runner on second. Long pause. Checking. Rover tries to call time. And we'll watch the ball miss just off the outside edge for the first ball of the at-bat. Joe's probably having to bite their tongues a little bit as Casey Fink was ejected yesterday with a little bit of a dispute with the home plate umpire. No, umpires do talk a little bit. You never know if someone's got a quick trigger tonight. Lowe gonna retreat after holding them on, and that one will miss upstairs. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Tommy Rover, who has worked this count back even as Tyler Hudson continues to try to find that outside corner. Has missed twice. Big lead out there for Haskins. Coming in, big old sword for Tommy Rover. Gets the first strikeout of the inning for Tyler Hudson, and that's a big one.
Yeah, Tyler Hudson, not a guy who walks a lot of batters, but a guy who strikes them out quite a bit. For Tyler now on the year in 22 2/3 innings pitch, 4 walks and 30 strikeouts.
Crazy numbers. The most hits he's ever given up is against the Jazz as we get a pickoff move. Haskins thought he had the timing and has hung out. Tag applied by Sam Lowe out there at short. They'll makeshift throw it around.
Everybody was meeting over there at second base.
Everybody get a little touch of the ball.
A little hot potato. Great recovery, though, from Tyler Hudson. He did not look rattled at all in that second at-bat, despite giving up the really hard contact. Really dominated Tommy Rover and now able to clear the base paths.
We'll bring up Jared Eaton. We interviewed Jared Eaton for the pregame of the All-Star game. One of my favorite interviews of that pregame is that one will miss low. Hitting 360, probably one of the best people in this league. Had a very nice conversation pre-interview and post-interview as that one will miss off. Just kind of talked about how he's just kind of taking things day by day, and that's kind of how he's approached the summer season, has come in and lit up this league. As the 2-0 will go straight up. Bridges ranging over to the fence. Has to come all the way almost back to the turf. We'll retire Jared Eaton. And 1, 2, 3, go the Scouts. As we go to the home half of the first, the Joes have their first chance to bat. You're watching the All Wealth Hamilton Joes Broadcast Network.
All Wealth Federal Credit Union is committed to providing for you. Through convenient online banking, home and auto loans, saving accounts, checking accounts, credit cards, and more, All Wealth can provide for all of your banking needs. Located at 6 South 2nd Street in Hamilton, they can be found on the phone at 513-868-5881 or online at allwealth.org. All Wealth, supporting those who serve us.
Butler County Mental Health and Addiction Recovery Services, in partnership with the community, is here to provide comprehensive recovery-oriented system of care and prevention. In addition, we continuously improve the quality of life of Butler County citizens through the support of addiction and mental health recovery services. Butler County Mental Health and Addiction Recovery, a proud sponsor of your Hamilton Joes.
Jake Wells on the mound to face Grant Miller, the all-star for the Joes, just a couple days off of his all-star appearance. Jake Wells out of Hilliard, Ohio. Came up here and actually told us that he's not at Penn State, I think is what he was trying to say. Miller was scared about that one's going to go foul. Recognized the picture off the GLSCL website. He came up to change it. Thought we were going to announce it over the PA. So we'll do a quick Google search, see if he's in the portal. Throws left, bats left. Record of 2-1. This is just his 6th game of the year. He's making start number 1, a 4.80 ERA in just 15 innings pitched. Big breaking ball. Gonna find the inside corner. Bit of a wonky delivery here to start things for Wells. Kind of dips himself back as he goes forward. A 2-0. Smack to the right-hand side. That's going to get down. So Grant Miller picking up where he left off yesterday. Had himself a base knock to lead things off. We'll bring up Walker Bridges, who got the 9 off yesterday.
Yeah, despite the effort on first from Blaze Bell. Back to business for Grant Miller, who we became so accustomed to at the beginning of the season to just lead off with a hit.
Decent size lead over there at first for Miller. Wells will check and fire. We're just going to foul that one out of play. Looks like Bridges hurt his shoulder a little bit on that swing. He's stretching out the left-hand side. No trainer needed. He seems like he's going to be okay, and we're going to resume here. 0-1 our count over there at first as Grant Miller has some speed. The middle of the infield hit right up the middle is that one. Swing and a miss from Walker Bridges. The ball's in 2 strikes. We'll see if Miller's off on this pitch. He's not. The 0-2 going to miss off the plate. Good job finding that outside corner, but just missing off. Last time Wells was on the mound was the 10th of July. Got the win. Pitching out of the bullpen against the Grand Lake Mariners. As he'll step off. 4 hits, no runs, 1 walk, 3 strikeouts. More walks than strikeouts in the season, more hits than strikeouts in the season for Jake Wells. He's already given up 1 hit today. Battling right now with Bridges. The runner off. The throw high. A good throw. Pitch to throw on. Miller dancing around. Going to shimmy his way around the tag.
He gives a little tap on the back to the Peyton Neiman, who I think tipped the cap to him. But he was absolutely hung out to dry, and Neiman held the ball with 2 hands in front of his chest and somehow Miller matrixed his way out of that one. I don't know how he got out of that slide.
The 2-2 will come in and hit Walker. He kind of stood still and thought that one was going to get him in a more favorable location. Looks like it got him maybe on the shin or the knee. A little limp walking down the first base line, but seemed to be okay. That left side of the body in some pain for Walker Bridges.
Definitely.
But Grant Miller just threw on the brakes.
It looked like he was almost. It looked like a Kenny Pickett type fake slide, where he started to go into the slide and then just magically popped right back up into his normal position.
We're sitting 3-14 after a bit of a resurgence at the plate. Just behind Casey Fink, who sits at 333. Wimmer's at 308 coming into today. As that one will find the zone. Wimmers, who was talking about giving himself a new walk-up song, didn't get it today. But still doing some mix mastering behind the scenes for him. The 1-1. Unsure of that swing. So that one was up in the zone. One balls, two strikes as Jake Wells looks to get his first out of the inning. A single stolen base and a hit by pitch as the 1-2 hit high into the air out in right field. Raging in on his Ferris. He's going to come over, make the catch. Miller will advance his way to third. So Wimmer is able to advance the base runner. A productive out. We'll bring up Parker Lester. One little inside out after the breaking ball came inside. The breaking ball in the mid to high 60s and the fastball up in the low to mid 80s. So some serious speed change.
Absolutely. And the fastball has kind of climbed in velocity as this first inning has gone on.
There's the breaking ball, fouled off the glove of Haskins behind the plate.
Lester got big eyes on that one.
Parker Lester hitting 333 with 12 RBIs with runners in scoring position. To keep things rolling in that regard and cash this one in with Grant Miller over there at first. The 0-1 will miss upstairs. Bridges at first, Miller over there at third. Miller with speed, Bridges with speed. Bridges and Miller came in tied in stolen bases as that one is hit out of play. Miller already has one stolen bag in this inning. We'll see if Walker Bridges has a rebuttal. Did get hit on that left leg, so not sure if he's feeling totally up to the challenge. Just going to take this sort of at-bat off. It looks poised to run. So the 1-2. Hit in the center field, camped under it is Ross Smith. They're going to send Grant Miller. A run through by Smith. A great throw, but not in time. Bridges trying to advance to second. He will as the throw from Haskins goes over the glove of Rover and into center field. The Joes scratch one across on the RBI sac fly from Parker Lester.
Yeah, it was kind of a bang-bang play. It was a pretty decent throw out there in center as Ross Smith kind of ran into that one, but just a second too late. And then Walker Bridges probably would have been out if that throw was put in the right spot, but it bounced over the heads of the middle infielders into center.
Yeah, Haskins tried to use the turf, but it kind of bounced a little too close to the bag and hopped right over the glove as Kyle Brazier will check swing. They'll say he did go on the first pitch of his at-bat. Bridges at second, a runner still in scoring position for Cal Brazier, who is on a bit of a resurgence in terms of RBIs. I've seen him collect quite a number of them over the last week or so. Sitting at 17. As that pitch will miss low. Good mix of fast and slow from Wells. Has done a decent amount of both so far and got a couple of good swings and misses off of that breaking ball in the dirt. 1-1. Gets it upstairs.
A flock of birds is taking over center field.
Hopefully we don't get a Randy Johnson situation.
They're flying all over the place.
If anybody's going to hit one hard enough to knock a bird out of the air, it's Cal Brazier.
Maybe we could get a Coco Crisp situation. Hit a ball out there in center, distract Smith.
That one will miss low, and now 3-1 the count. Happened in Major League with Serrano hitting a bird and had to run out and take care of the bird. Don't think we'll see that in this game. 3 balls and 1 strike to Cal Brazier, who will likely be hunting fastball here. Big gap on the right-hand side as Neiman's covering the runner, but a big lead for Bridges. Well, start-stop as that one catches the outside corner. Brazier asking if that was the edge. The outside corner has been rather strict so far over the first inning and 2/3. Full count, 3-2. As Cal will watch that one miss upstairs. I think he sold it well enough. The umpire was just going to let him have it, as that one was a close call. Brazier will reach for the first time.
Yeah, that one was a breaking ball, and those ones on the top part of the zone always make you a little bit nervous when you see them starting to fall down.
Mr. Redlegs hit the gritty as we have him in attendance today. All the way from your Cincinnati Reds. Walker Bridges, a very big lead. As Evan Orker watched that one catch his own for strike 1. Bridges not taking a small lead by any regard. I think if there's a pickoff move here, he's kind of in some hot water, but Wells didn't even look on that one. That one's going to bounce away from Haskins. Up the third baseline, a large round from Bridges, but he'll retreat back. The runner's now at second and third with 2 outs, giving Evan Ulrich a chance to maybe get a couple RBIs. One to nothing our score as the Joes have already scratched one across here in the home half. With Tyler Hudson on the mound, just trying to give him another win opportunity in his 3rd start of the season. 1-1. Gonna catch that outside corner as the count moves to 1-2. Evan Ulrich hitless yesterday, did reach twice on a couple of walks, and kind of had one taken away from him yesterday as Lopez had that string in the inning where he made a couple of great plays defensively. As the 1-2 will miss just off the plate. But was on quite a run, hitting doubles. A double against the Cheds. I think he had 2 doubles against the Cheds. And then a double on his last time out against the Steam. Looking to keep things rolling in that regard as a 2-2. Reached for. Going to hit to the right of Neiman. Running up the plate. Very close. Probably closer than it honestly should have been, as Evan Ulrich is giving it his all up the line. But we'll be out number 3. Evan Ulrich goes down. 1 run comes across for the Joes in the bottom of the first as they grab the early lead here at Foundation Field. We're right back with the second inning as Tyler Hudson regains the mound. You're watching the All World Hamilton Joes Broadcast Network.
Bridgewater Falls offers guests a unique shopping experience with more than 30 shopping destinations, including Target, JCPenney, Ulta, Best Buy, Michaels, Dick's Sporting Goods, and many more. Bridgewater Falls also has a wide variety of delicious dining destinations. From burgers to pizza to sushi, Experience all the flavors of Bridgewater Falls. Bridgewater Falls is located just off the Butler County Veterans Highway, Ohio 129, at the corner of Princeton Road and Bypass 4. Come experience a great shopping, dining, and services in the heart of Fairfield Township, Ohio.
Ross Smith going to come in to bat offensively after he made a great throw on the other half, almost trying to throw out Grant Miller, who scored. Got a great run through and made that probably as close as you were going to get. This will face Tyler Hudson, who regains the mound for his second inning. First pitch on the inside corner. Hudson back to work. We'll find the inner corner. Saw Wells try to paint that outer third in the last half inning. We'll look to see if Hudson tries to do the same. Oryx set up on the inside corners. That one's fouled off. Ross Smith, fifth on this Scouts team so far in average, hitting .289 in game number 24. Hudson trying to get him to chase with the off-speed off the plate. But Smith denying on that one and maybe change a little bit of the eye level. Go upstairs in this one. As the 1-2 comes inside, fouled off by Smith. Just 11 pitches through that first inning through Tyler Hudson. Kind of made in part by his pickoff move of Tyler Haskins. A 1-2. Slider once again left it up as that one's fouled over to the Joe side of the dugout. It was Smith, Hurd, and Ferris. 4, 5, and 6 for the Scouts. Joe's up 1-0. The 1-2 once again. That one's a fastball upstairs. Buzzed the tower a little bit. Top Gun style. Smith will move out of the way, and they can't leave it at 2-2. We'll see if that opens up the back door for the breaking ball. The 2-2 tried to come in with it as that one's hit out to Stigler and left. Camped under it for quite some time as that one was hit high into the air. Camped under it for out number 1.
A couple times now we've seen some pretty hard contact from the Scouts, but 2 out of 3 to no avail.
Bring up Jeff Hurd. Residing left field tonight for the Scouts. First pitch table miss off the plate. Swinging that very bright red bat that we've seen him use the entire season, or at least whenever he plays us. Not sure if he brings out the red against the red team.
It's Joe colored.
Yeah. I don't know if that's intentional or if that's the one he uses all the time. Is the 1-0 hit out in the center field. Grant Miller going to go back and make a catch over his shoulder for out number 2.
Batting practice right now for the Scouts.
Anytime anything's hit out to Grant Miller, I almost never blink an eye. He makes every play look so incredibly routine, it's ridiculous. But yeah, you mentioned batting practice. Looks like they're hitting it everywhere now on Tyler Hudson. 2 outs now for Colby Ferris, as that one will miss just in. Hudson trying to open up the front door for the slider here on the right-handed batters. As the 1-0 goes off the edge of the plate. AP going to have to make a run all the way over to the foul line. He'll make it and make the catch. Another 11-pitch inning for Tyler Hudson. The Scouts go down 1-2-3 once again. We're right back for the home half of the second. You're watching the All Wealth Hamilton Joe's Broadcast Network.
At Brown Dawson Flick Funeral Home, we don't just care for the recently departed. We serve those who held them most dearly. Our families have known since 1935 that they can count on our honest and respectful staff to provide only the highest level of service. The kind of service that you can't get just anywhere these days. We invite you to explore our site to learn more about Brown Dawson Flick Funeral Home at browndawsonflick.com, a proud sponsor of your Hamilton Joes.
The Casual Pint is a community and neighborhood craft beer spot located in Hamilton that provides a vast selection of the best craft beers the region has to offer. They also offer a great selection of food options from appetizers to entrees, so if you just need a snack while you socialize or want to enjoy lunch or dinner, they have something that will hit the spot. Go online and order at hamilton.thecasualpint.com or go to their location located on 130 Riverfront Plaza. That is 130 Riverfront Plaza in Hamilton, Ohio. Proud sponsor of the Hamilton Joes.
Seven, 8, 9, 2 up for the Joes here in the top of the second inning. Rather bottom. These Sam Lowe, Steven Stickler, and Andrew Patrick to continue this thing rolling for the Joes. Already up 1-0 after just one single hit by pitch, walk, sac fly, brought Grant Miller around. That one finds the outer corner. Sam looking to continue what he's been doing over the last 14 at-bats. He's set 5 of the last 14. That one will bounce in. So creeping dangerously close to that 500 mark over his last couple of games. Did have a single yesterday. Came around to score in the 6th inning where the Joes grabbed some insurance runs that we thought were going to hold, as that one will miss. And that's strike 2. Joes put 3 across in the 6th and then immediately saw them get taken right back in the home half with 3 of their own. The 1-2. Big swing and a miss in the dirt. Wells gets Sam Lowe chasing, and that's his first strikeout of the game.
Left fielder, number 31, Steven Stickler.
Bring up Steven Stigler, who get his second appearance at home. Came in the last time we were here at Foundation Field in a bit of a pinch hit opportunity. Came in, was walked against the Cheds. That one will miss off. But played very well at Miami Hamilton. We did some research. Was hitting .419. So that one will miss off.
Yep, he scored a run against the Copperheads
Yeah.
and then went 0 for 1 against the Steam on July 13th, a couple days later.
2-0. That'll find the outside corner, and Wells gets his first strike of this at-bat. But the hometown guy plays for Miami Hamilton, the Harriers, playing at his home field. As the 2-1 hit on the ground. To his left is Nate Self. Will fire across the diamond, require Blaze Bell to get big once again. Keep the foot on the bag as he makes the stretch for out number 2.
Right fielder, number 8, Andrew Patrick.
Second time we've had to see Blaze Bell get a little big over there at first base. Had 2 against Evan Ulrich, who was booking it down that first base line. Now Nate Self almost pulling him off. Andrew Patrick left us for a couple of games throughout the last week or so, went on vacation. As the first pitch will miss. There's 3 for 7 since that vacation, so probably, recharging the batteries as he makes his hunt for the fall season over there at Wright State. The 1-0. Hit foul. But by virtue means that Candy Connoisseur Contents will come back.
Yes, another episode shot today.
Mm-hmm.
Keep an eye out. Follow us on Instagram at Hamilton Joes.
For your foremost candy content. I tell you, I follow the reviews 100%.
100%.
1-1 hit out in the right field. Ferris coming in. Comes over onto the clay and makes the catch. Ferris out would go a long way, makes the catch for out number 3. And the Joes now down in order to end the second. Done with 2, on to the third. 1-0 our score. Joes on top. You're watching the All Wealth Hamilton Joes Broadcast Network.
Joes fans, Chatterbox Sports is your home for high school sports all across Butler County. For live events, exclusive interviews, podcasts, photos, and more, visit chatterboxsports.com. Also follow them on Twitter and Instagram at CBoxSports.
For over 130 years, Coca-Cola has been guided by a spirit of creativity, innovation, collaboration, and love of community. The next time you come to Foundation Field to watch a Hamilton Joes game, do yourself a favor and get yourself an ice-cold Coke. Coca-Cola, proud sponsor of the Hamilton Joes.
Are you switching or looking for a new bank? First Financial Bank is the perfect fit because they put you first. Their 3 goals is to stay flexible to serve your needs, invest in the community financially and personally, and they tailor their services to your needs. First Financial Bank. When it comes to managing your money, they make it easy, fast, and secure.
Seven, 8, 9, 2 up for the Scouts now. Here in the third is Tyler Hudson on a bit of a cruise so far through this Scouts lineup the first time through. Bell, Self, and Neiman, as those birds still flocking around up there in center field. Wonder if Grant Miller is going to have to start swatting them away. Flock of crows or something like that. First pitch to Bell. Going to miss up. Can't tell if they're going after Grant or not.
They're kind of circling.
The 1-0. That'll miss low.
Isn't that birds circle their prey, right?
Yeah,
Birds that are carnivorous, right?
Condors and what are the other ones? The 2-0. Swung on a miss. Vultures. Is what I was looking
Vultures,
for.
yeah, there we go.
They do. They normally circle them if they're dead, I believe. They both eat.
Vultures are scavengers.
Yeah, they're scavengers. The 2-1. On the outside corner, paint it. And now the count 2-2 will set up the big slider off the edge for Tyler Hudson. We'll see if he goes to it. Dancing in and out of the shadows. Blows the fastball by him there. So not playing with him there. Gets Blaze Bell down on strike. Second strikeout of the game. Struck out Rover, now strikes out Blaze Bell. And we'll bring up Nate Self. One out for Nate Self. As that one will just miss low. Hudson on a bit of a roll so far. You have the double to Haskins, but since then has retired the last 6. As that one will find the up part of the zone. The 0-1, just going to miss upstairs. Hudson got probably one of the most interesting shadows you can have right now. It's on him as he's on the mound, but as he goes into his windup, he comes in and out of the shadow. It's really, really interesting. We'll see if we get any cool pictures from Pearl. The whole contrast of the light. Behind the count 3-1 as that one's fouled off. Nate Self already has made a play defensively. Had to make just one inning ago. 5-3 to retire Stigler. He's hit the top of the Scouts lineup in batting average with just 11 games played. as that one will miss off. So Self will reach double digits in terms of walk. That's his number 10 on the season. He'll be the first base runner since the first for the Scouts. Peyton Neem in the 9-hole. Second baseman for the Scouts. We'll bat with 1 out and 1 on. Joe's up 1-0 as Hudson back out of the stretch. Not missing a beat, finds the inside corner on Neiman. Saw Hudson pregame, just kind of walking around the park. Him and Tincher do walks pregame. They both kind of like to just walk around. As the 0-1 skipped in, picked by Wimmers, throws over to Brazier, got him in a rundown, and he throws it away. So an E3 for Cal Brazier after they had Self hung out to dry. Cal just having to make the easiest, little flick throw.
I think also he was kind of trying
Yeah.
to get it around the base runner, which made it a little more difficult.
On the run, that throw is a lot harder to make because you're trying not to like hum it in there. Trying to take some velocity off so you don't kill your shortstop. But either way, will advance as the 1-1 now becomes 1-2. Hudson no stranger to runners on second. And Haskins out there at second in the first, picked him off. And Self will check his stolen bases on the season. Has not attempted one, or rather has attempted one, has been caught once. So he's 0 for 1 on the bags this season. There's a 1-2. Got to miss upstairs and he fouled off. One ball, 2 strikes, 1 out. Tying run for the Scouts out there at second is Nate Self. Just 1 hit apiece between these two teams. We talked about every time these two have played, it's always been super close. Can't remember off the top of my head any blowouts, aside from maybe the one where the Joes had the game rained out, but they were starting to grasp momentum in that game. A couple of base runners reached as the Lightning delayed the game and eventually canceled it. Chopped at the plate. That one's again going foul. Just got a notification. Corey Seager's going to enter the home run derby after being a late addition coming in for George Springer.
How about that?
We talked about we'd like to see a home run derby here for the GLSCL.
Would have liked to see
Give
it.
the guys metal bats and let them hit tanks at Prasco Park. That'd be so much fun. Nobody holding Self out there. It's the 1-2. Hit on the ground. Sam Logan have to come in. Couple of chops. Makes the throw over to Neiman in time. Self does advance to third as that one was hit softly enough for him to advance. Put a runner on third. With 2 outs.
Corey Seager is the only player across any level I've ever witnessed hit a first pitch home run live.
Huh.
He did it against the Cincinnati Reds a few years ago, and on the first pitch of the game hit a home run. It was the only time I've personally ever seen it live.
I don't know if I've seen one live as well. First pitch, Tyler Haskins going to miss off the plate. I've seen the home team hit one on the first pitch of their side.
Yeah, but he was
Yeah.
for the Dodgers. He was the road team. It was the first pitch of the game. I was getting into my seat right as I turned around. Bang, big home run.
Starting off with a big old bang. Top of the order, Tyler Haskins. Want to know the count. That one hit out of play. Yeah, shout out Jonah Weisner. And I'm sure he's not watching this. He's playing his own baseball with the Canadian League. But that guy had more first pitch home runs, leadoff home runs out of the home side that I've seen probably out of anybody. Set and fires. Here's the 1-1 blocked by Wimmers. I had to see him do that a couple of times in the GLSCL All-Star game, showing off in front of the scouts. It was a rather long day for him, as we mentioned in the broadcast yesterday. He had to come in early to catch the alternates who were throwing in front of the scouts.
Tyler Hudson being one of them.
Yeah. They actually caught each other. Or they pitched to each other. I rather enjoyed that. The 2-1 shot in the right field. Tyler Haskins with the second hit of the ball game grabs himself an RBI and brings the Scouts even. Score now level at 1-1.
All right, who's thirsty? Let's make some noise for the beer batter. Stay thirsty, my friends. Let's make some noise.
The beer batter going to stride his way back in Tommy Rover, the first strikeout victim of Tyler Hudson. Haskins grabs his 10th RBI of the season. Not quite the Grant Miller type of season that he's had. Doesn't have the RBIs out of the leadoff spot. That's normally being hit in. It's the first pitch to Rover, going to find the inside corner. First time we've seen that return to the slider on the inner half there from Haskins, or rather Hudson. A big old lead over there for Haskins. It's already been caught once, as that one will find the inside corner. That time the fastball.
I can't hear you.
Haskins 5 of 6 on stolen bags. Now make it 5 of 7, I suppose, as that one goes down as a caught stealing. Always felt like there should be a separate stat for pickoffs and caught stealings, but they all get lumped in. Big lead over there for Haskins, just tapping the feet back and forth. Won't go as that one misses off the plate. Used to call guys like that happy feet. Not too egregious out there from Haskins, but there were some guys who shifted their weight as they led things off. And as a pitcher, if you can time that to where their weight's on the other foot, you can get some easy pickoffs. There goes Haskins. That ball hit out into the left. Stigler going to have to go back on it. Camps under it, makes the catch for out number 3. And the side is retired. 1 run comes across as the Scouts tie the ball game up after an RBI single from Tyler Haskins. We're all even here at Foundation Field. We'll be right back with more Joe's action. You're watching the All Wealth Handling the Joe's Broadcast Network.
Come curious and leave inspired. The Fitton Center for Creative Arts isn't just a building, it's an experience. We are a non-profit community arts organization that has been a part of the Hamilton community for over 20 years. Visit us soon to see what we have to offer. Learn something new in one of our art classes or workshops that are open to students of all ages. Be enthralled by extraordinary musicians, actors, and dancers at one of our live performances. Stroll through our remarkable art galleries or reserve one of our diverse venues for your special event. Become a part of the Fitton Center and redefine the way you experience the arts in Hamilton.
Kettering Health Hamilton at Fort Hamilton Hospital, founded in 1929, is dedicated to providing Butler County with community-focused health care. With skilled specialists and cutting-edge technology, they feature advanced wound care, emergency care with a Level 3 trauma center, heart and vascular care, maternity care, and orthopedics and
Top of the order, due up for the Joes as we have ourselves a new ball game. We're back all squared here in the third. Grant Miller, who led things off in the first with a single to right field, came around to score. So we see Nate Self backed up right there at third. We'll see if Miller, there he does. Squares the bunt. Jake Wells going to field it, throws it over to first, throws it away into right field. There goes Grant Miller. Motors himself in the second. Knew exactly what he was going to do as Nate Self was off. Will be an E1. but base runner regardless.
Yeah, that's kind of the thing for Grant Miller with those bunts. Obviously, we say he likes to bunt for singles, but just try to cause some chaos, try to force something like that. Because if you're not going to be scored the single, you might as well just make the pitcher panic when he's got to turn around like that and maybe force a bad throw. And, hey, that's better than a single. You end up over at second base.
Always wondered if there should be a stat that it's like chaos created almost. You don't get a hit and it doesn't go to the batting average.
It's an error, and he's technically 1 for 2, but you can almost say he did that on purpose.
Yeah. First pitch to Walker Bridges will miss off the plate. It should almost be a stat for errors created.
It's almost like having a sacrifice where that doesn't count against your batting average, where you know you're going to get out, but you're trying to help your team.
As the 1-0 going to miss low. Bounces away from Haskins, but not far enough. Haskins got his left blinker on right now, got the left pocket hanging out. Walker, like Lester, hits .333 with runners in scoring position. Lester had himself an RBI his last time up against Wells. Lester, the only RBI of the game so far. Had that sac fly in the first, excuse me. Big gap on the right-hand side. 2-0 hit to the left-hand side. Fielded by Self. Again, going to pull Bell off the bag. Miller able to get himself into third. And back-to-back errors for the Joes. We'll put runners at the corners.
Yeah, I'm not entirely sure if I agree with that decision from Nate Self at third to play that ball where he did. That might have gone foul. Instead, he created a really tough play for himself.
I think he could have also pump faked, because Grant Miller was probably likely going to go on the throw regardless. Just eat that one, pump it, look at second, maybe get yourself the lead runner. But either way.
Yeah, it was close. He was probably going to be able to get Bridges in time, but ended up pulling Bell off the bag.
So 2 errors in the inning, but runners at the corners for Nick Wimmers, as that one will miss up.
Nick Wimmers just announced today he's going to be transferred to Northern Kentucky to play for the Norse next season. He and Clay Brock, Joes that started out at different schools, that'll be transferring in to play at Northern Kentucky in the Horizon League next year.
Bridges going to have himself a stolen bag, or attempt to. Miller not electing to go on the stolen bag, because that's what we've seen from the Joes so far this season.
Haskins has been up to the task behind the plate so far.
Yeah.
Every time the Joes have tested his arm, the throw's been in time. It's just been a matter of could the middle infielders handle it.
2-0 the count to Wimmers as he goes chasing. The Scouts infield will come about even on the corners, and the middle infield going to go back to their regular spots. So Nick Wimmers just needing a little roll over to the shortstop to give himself an RBI, give the Joes a lead once again, as that one will find the outside corner. Maybe stretching a little bit on that one. Good frame from Haskins behind the dish. Wimmers in F9 his last time up. It went out to Ferris. That advanced Grant Miller to third. 2-2. Chopped on the ground. There it is. Rover going to come in, throw across the diamond. Almost got away from Bell. Good pick. And Nick Wimmers will grab himself an RBI. The Joes retake the lead.
Exactly what you need right there. Just put the ball in play.
Talked about productive outs this entire season.
Yep. You can be a little bit less, hit savvy, you could say, searching for that after Walker Bridges was cleared off the base path. You don't want to hit into that double play, as that probably would have been turned had Bridges still been at first. But they're just looking to get Miller home.
2 outs for Lester as he laces that one up the middle. Just over the head of Wells, who took to the ground to avoid getting stung by that one. Parker Lester, in his first official at-bat, gets a single. Already has the RBI on the sac fly. To restart a rally here with 2 outs, bring Cal Brazier to the dish. Brazier, a very good at bat to draw a walk his last time up, as that one will miss it off the plate. Three home runs in the season from Cal. Have yet to see him hit one here at home. As that one will miss low. 2 balls, no strikes, 2 outs here. In the third, the Joes on top of the Scouts 2-1. Kind of shifted to the left here on the Scouts infield as that one will catch the outside corner. I've seen that call on the outside corner kind of change its way, expand on the outer third over the last couple of innings. That's a 2-1 shot to the right side, but that's going to find its way foul. Count even at 2-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, and a runner at first. Joe's looking to continue a 2-out rally and add some more runs after scoring 1 in this inning. That one shot up the middle will get past Neiman. A hard round from Lester. He'll retreat back to second. And Cal Brazier, with his first hit of the ball game, has reached twice, looking to keep this rally alive.
Yeah, things really seem to be going the Joes' way offensively right now. Whether it's the errors, they were able to draw a walk and a hit by pitch in the first, but things just really seem to be going in the right direction for them right now.
Two outs, 2 on. The DH tonight, Evan Ulrich has 2 home runs at Foundation Field. The most by anybody, as that one's hit out of play. Takes a lot of gusto to put balls out. We've always wondered why that is that the wind never really blows in. It's kind of a favorable location wind-wise, but I think we've chalked it up to the river just behind us. Maybe a bit more humid than other places. Nothing in 1 to Evan Ulrich. So that one again shot to the right side out of play. Grounded out his last time up. Required Neiman to make a very athletic play. Required Blaze Bell to make a really athletic play. As Evan Ulrich showing off probably his best speed of the season. Almost beat that one out as Jake Wells will step off. Fire back to Lester at second. Looked like he might have laughed out there. I don't know if Lester said, hey, I'm not going anywhere. Neiman holding on Lester. A big gap to the right-hand side. Finds the right-hand side. Ferris coming in. Makes the catch. So Ferris, who's made quite a number of plays out there in right field, is called on again to take away possibly an RBI single from Evan Ulrich and end the inning. 1 run comes across after Wimmers has an RBI ground out, and the Joes now lead 2-1. Done with 3. Here comes 4. You're watching the All-Well Hamilton Joes Broadcast Network.
Four-Star Mechanical is your one-stop shop for all things heating, ventilation, air conditioning, and refrigeration. With over 100 combined years of industry-specific experience, they're equipped with the design and job site knowledge to complete every project from concept to routine maintenance. Call them at 513-737-1008.
Woman-owned and family-operated, M&G Body Shop has a honest and dependable staff that has over 30 years of experience bringing cars back to life. M&G Body Shop can get your car back safely on the road, providing a wide variety of services including bodywork, frame adjustment, painting, total loss evaluation, window and glass repair, collision repair, alignment, insurance claim reports, and paintless dent repair, and more. Visit M&G Body Shop at 12018 Hamilton Avenue in Cincinnati or call them up at 513-851-9056.
Jared Eaton going to lead things off for the Scouts here in the top of the 4th inning. Look for his first trip on here against Tyler Hudson, as that one's fouled off. Two to 1 our score here in the 4th. So Hudson gets a big swing and a miss there from Eaton. Eaton, in his last couple of games here for the Scouts, talked to him, said he's going to go back home after this week, as that one's fouled off. From Mobile, Alabama. Has kind of bounced around the South. Played his last year at USF, University of Southern Florida. Now heading to, I believe, Jackson State, not Jacksonville, as that one's hit in the air. Walker Bridge is going to camp under it. Just in foul territory. He'll make the catch. Another P5 for Jared Eaton.
Jackson State as in Deion Sanders Jackson State.
I believe it's Jackson State. I get them both confused. It's Jackson and Jacksonville.
Yeah, two of the different. He's going to Jacksonville State. So
Jacksonville State. Okay.
Jacksonville State, the Gamecocks and the
yeah.
A-Sun. A couple Jacksonville State guys around the league.
One out now for Ross Smith as that one misses low.
Just went through a conference transition. We're previously in the Ohio Valley. Won a bunch of OVC championships.
That seems very out of the way for them, as the 1-0 going to be fouled off.
Yeah, it depends on. There are a couple teams in the, Kentucky and Tennessee region in the Ohio Valley.
Yeah, we go all the way down to Florida. Yeah.
Yeah, up north. And
the 1-1. Get right back to Hudson off his glove. Lowe going to field it. He won't grab it cleanly. That's going to be an infield single. Hudson trying his best to get a glove on it. Hit off the tip of his glove. If he doesn't get a glove on it, I think Sam Lowe makes that play. But if he doesn't reach for it, I don't know. I think maybe he had a shot to make that play. But either way, infield single.
Yeah, it's one of those where it's just unfortunate because you're not going to not make that play when you have the chance to. But then in the effort, you ended up accidentally blocking it down.
Try to style on him. Smith over there at first. Jeffrey Hurd going to watch a ball off the plate. Home plate now fully covered in shadows here at Foundation Field. Light's not on yet, as it's been all sun today. Did see rain a couple of days ago, just kind of a light sprinkling in the late hours. As the 1-0 will miss off the plate. Wimmer's doing his best to bring that one back. Didn't miss by much. Changes the complexity of the at-bat as Jeffrey Hurd now ahead 2-0. For a big double play, get him out of the inning here. His pickoff move. Back to Brazier. Nothing doing over there for Smith. Smith 4 for 9 on the stolen bases this season. And that one will find the zone. So not sure if he'll be going. I feel like when you get to more caught stealings than stealings, I think you probably just get cut off.
When you're under 50% with that many attempts.
Might just cut them off. 2-1. Right at the bottom. Three and 1 the count. Joe's up by 1. Scouts have put one up in the last inning, looking to do so here in the 4th as that one's ripped into center field. Going back is Grant Miller. He's going to camp under it. Ross Smith thought that one was getting down, but was starting to make his way to second. But once again, we don't underestimate Grant Miller out there in center.
Yeah, just not really a whole lot has gotten down with any of the outfielders today when they've had a chance. On either side, we've seen good plays by Colby Ferris, Andrew Patrick, Grant Miller. It's a full all-around effort for this outfield.
5 flyouts on the scout side tonight, as everybody in the outfield's got their licks. First baseman Colby Ferris going to miss off the plate. We mentioned Colby Ferris just ended the last inning as Evan Ulrich hit one softly out in the right field that we all thought was going to get down. Had to come all the way in, make a underhanded grab. Maybe took away a run for the Joes. He'll take a big whiff at that one. Winds can be felt all the way over at first base. 1-1 strike. Colby Ferris, we mentioned, gave Andrew Patrick a bit of a tough time as he had to show some legs as that one catches the inside corner, but AP made the catch. We talked about it yesterday, but I'll mention it again. Andrew Patrick, we finally got a time on his speed. Runs a 6.260. For all of you at home that don't know that is blazing speed.
That's fast.
That's almost like a 60 or a 70 on the 80, the 80, whatchamacallit, the scouts do an 80-point scale. 1-2 to the right-hander, Colby Ferris Hudson looking for another K. The runner takes off. That one's going to come in and hit Ferris. Runners at first and second now with 2 outs.
First baseman, Blaze Bell.
Rather unfortunate for Hudson, as I thought that Wimmers might have had a shot to throw out Smith out there at second. They tried to run the fastball in and ran a little 2 in. Hudson's fastball does have some arm side run. Blaze Bell will stride to the plate. Already 0 for 1 today. Is 1 for his last 16. As that one is hit out of play. Joe's up 2-1. Put up 1 in the home half of the third to regain the lead after this game's gone back and forth in the last inning. Couple of checks to both runners. The 0-1. Hit out of play once again. And now Tyler Hudson in the driver's seat to maybe retire Bell on strikes for the second time. No balls, 2 strikes. Long pause from Tyler Hudson getting his sign. See if they elect to go with the slider. Wimmer set up on that inside part of the plate. Tried to go fastball, misses upstairs. Change the eye level. As the count now 1-2.
Hey, it's 1-2.
1 ball, 2 strikes. 2 outs. Scouts knocking on the door. Parker Lester will now come all the way off the bag. As that one will miss inside. Trusting a lot of Smith out there at second to leave him for that long. Two balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. As Hudson asking what the count is. The scoreboard says 3-2 up here at the field.
2-2.
It is 2-2.
Yep.
Our scoreboard is always correct.
Almost.
Almost, yeah. The 2-2. Rung him up on the outside corner, painted it black. Will get him out of the inning, as that will be the second strikeout of the game for Blaze Bell and put a big 0 on the board for the Joes. We go to the home half of the fourth. The Joes on top. 2-1. You're watching the All Wealth Hamilton Joes Broadcast Network.
Are your clothes still dirty after going through the wash? Is your fridge failing to keep things cold? Pay Appliance Service offers superior home appliance repair in Hamilton, Ohio, so you can get on with your day-to-day activities. They are a family-owned company offering fast and reliable appliance repairs. Their skilled service technicians work on a wide variety of brands and home appliances, providing quality repairs on everything from dishwashers to microwaves. Go to their location at 780 South Martin Luther King Jr. Boulevard or contact them at 513-285-3519. Planet Fitness strives to create a workout environment where everyone feels accepted and respected. That's why at Planet Fitness Hamilton, Ohio, we take care to make sure our club is clean and welcoming, our staff is friendly, and our certified trainers are ready to help. Whether you're a first-time gym user or a fitness veteran, you'll always have a home in our judgment-free zone.
Seven, 8, 9 once again as a bit of a trend. 1 through 6 getting their turn to bat in the same inning, and it's 7, 8, 9. It's the second time it's happened. Sam Lowe, Steven Stigler, and Andrew Patrick. As all three of them went down 1, 2, 3 back in the second. Breaking ball, breaks all the way down the middle for strike 1 on Sam Lowe. Lowe caught chasing a couple of times his last time up, resulted in a strikeout. The only one on the board so far for Wells. That's that one will miss off. Almost been a coin flip so far on that outside corner. Kind of having to wait a little bit for the umpire. The 1-1 will find the outside corner. Big scoreboard watchers for us today as Sandusky is taking on the Licking County Settlers, who is 2 games ahead of us. They're up 6-1, and the Steam just a half game ahead of us at Bob Wren Stadium. Taking on the Copperheads is that one on the outside corner, a backwards K for Sam Lowe, who doesn't like the call. Bring up Steven Stigler as Sam Lowe down on strikes for the second time today. Stigler did not have a walk-up song in mind. I found that one of the weirdest things. Is that little miss upstairs. We went down to ask him what he wanted his walk-up song to be. He said, "You choose," leaving it in the hands of us interns. He's lucky we niced him. We could have gone with a lot of weird things. That one will miss off the plate.
Thought about Baby Shark, but
Baby Shark. The guy for the Steam yesterday walked up to Barbie Girl.
he did, yes.
So could have given him that. The 2-0 hit in the air. Ferris can range over, and honestly, probably could have made that play as well. Ferris has covered ridiculous amounts of ground out there in right field today and made plays that I've honestly thought were going to get down. I've called on him 3 times to make 3 putouts as that one's hit a chopper to Rover. And he'll retire Stigler for out number 2.
What about this idea, Blake? You play on a baseball field with no fences,
Ooh.
no outfield fence, and no fence on the sides, and you just let the ball go where it may.
Well, I can tell you right now, I played the lowest level of Washington High School for my first 2 years, and most fields did not have fences.
Hit a lot of inside the park home runs?
No, because the grass was too thick
It was
and it
too
would
thick.
stop. We did have one taken away, played on Lopez Island out there in the San Juans against the, I forgot what their mascot was, the first pitch to Andrew Patrick, and a miss off the plate. I wanted to say Locos, but it's not. The Lopez Island, regardless, there's a hill almost out from right field, and my friend, Brooks Dubois, as that one's hit out of play, who played at Bethany College, played some college baseball, is now up in Alaska fishing, so don't think he's watching. Shout out to him if he is. But hit one over the hill. It rolled down the hill. He was jogging because he thought it was a home run. The guy ran down the hill, picked it up, threw it back, requiring him to pick up some speed, and it was a bang-bang play at the plate as Patrick will square the bunt and will miss. They'll call it a strike. It's a bang-bang play at the plate. He was called out.
See, those are the plays I want to see, though. Imagine that at the collegiate level. That would be electric.
It was the strangest thing.
I want to see how far Ferris can go and right.
Yeah, it's fair. But also there's stadiums in a lot of these ones. So where do you put the fans out there in right field, you know?
That's true.
You go old school with the MLB as that one's chopped a Blaze Bell off his chest. AP booking up the line, but won't be there in time as that's out number 3. 7, 8, 9 go down the order once again. Put a 0 on the board. Joe's still up 2-1 as we head to the 5th inning. You're watching the All Wealth Hamilton Joe's Broadcast Network.
Queen City Hospice is your local, independently owned and operated center that is dedicated to providing patient-centered care and support to residents of the greater Cincinnati area in whatever place they call home. We understand that our staff is the most important aspect of our organization, and that is why we hire only the most qualified and compassionate individuals in the industry. This is why our care is second to none.
Hungry Joe's fans, stop by Richard's Pizza before, during, or after the Hamilton Joe's game. Order a pizza that was voted #1 best pizza in Butler County, or order one of their famous Italian steak sandwiches at Richard's Pizza, located on 417 Main Street. You can order online or stop by Richard's Pizza for your next delicious meal.
Eight, 9, and 1 due up for the Scouts as they trail 1-0 here in the top of the 5th. Tyler Hudson regains the mound. Just shy of 70 pitches here through 4 innings. Look to continue that. Rolling on the mound. We'll have to face Nate Self as that one will miss off the plate to start things. Great fastball there from Tyler Hudson, evens the count at 1-1. 1-1 our count. Nobody out. We can start things off here in the 5th. Chasing upstairs, fastball blown past the bat of Self at the dish. And Hudson hunts for back-to-back Ks. Just 3 strikeouts so far for Hudson. A little uncharacteristic from him. 1-2 will miss up on required Wimmers to come up out of his crouch. We mentioned at the top of the broadcast that Hudson strikes out quite a number of batters as that one will miss and the counter run full. 29 coming into today. Has 3 as he hunts down some of the leaders at the top of the GLSCL. That's a 3-2 hit on the ground to Parker Lester. A couple of hops. He'll fire over to Brazier. No problem for the first down of the inning. Bring up Peyton Neiman.
Well, Blake, it is the 5th inning. And so during our All-Star Game broadcast, shout out to Andrew Allison, we had our trivia question. And I also want to shout out the former voice of the Hamilton Joes, Paul Frischner, who used to run Frischner's 5th inning fun fact.
Oh,
shout out to him.
That alliteration itches apart in my brain.
So Neiman down 0-1. We are going to have a little bit of trivia for you as well here in the 5th.
Catches the outside corner now, 0-2.
So currently competing for playoff spots in the South Division are Licking County, Cincinnati, and then, of course, the Joes and Scouts here in 2022.
0-2 chops at the plate.
There was a particular year in which those were the top 4 teams that finished in the South standings, and these 2 teams, the Joes and Scouts, were the 2 that finished atop it and qualified for the playoffs. What year was that the final standing in the South? So once again, Xenia and Hamilton topping the South standings, with the 3rd and 4th occupied by Licking County and Cincinnati. If you need a hint, it was a very special year in Joe's history. What season was that? Let us know in the comments.
Or tweet us. I guess you can
Or tweet us
Yeah, we'll figure
at
that out
Hamilton
as well.
Joes.
We got to create a hashtag.
Frischner's 5th inning fun fact cannot be topped, so I'm not
Yeah.
sure. Also, if you're a longtime Joes supporter and fan, you might want to stay tuned for later this season.
Rung him up. Caught looking as Peyton Neiman a backwards K. We just started talking about Tyler Hudson's lack of strikeouts tonight. Grabs number 4. This time a backwards one to Peyton Neiman. Will flip the lineup over.
Stay tuned for later this season as we may or may not be having Paul Frischner return as a guest in our broadcast booth one of these final few games of the season.
We love to bring on Hamilton, heroes.
Hamilton legend Paul
Some
Frischner.
legends.
Broadcast for the team for one season, but they won a championship.
Hey, that's the way to go.
Now with the Xavier Musketeers in the Big East Conference.
A 1-0. Catches the inside corner. My parents have texted. They have not commented on the YouTube channel, but my
You got a guess?
stepdad Mark says 2016. My mom says 2015. So we will, keep
So
you in
it's-
some suspense as that bunt attempt is pulled back for ball 2.
We'll give you the answer as we head into the top of the 6th inning.
Give everybody a couple innings.
Get your
to
guesses in.
Get your guesses in. Two on our count. Tyler Haskins, the only scout to have multiple hits today, is kind of got Tyler Hudson at the plate. 2 hits from him, a single from Smith, and that's all we've seen so far for the Scouts. Pitcher's duel, as always, that one's fouled to the plate. Would have to look betwixt our couple of matchups as we've had between these two is I don't think we've had one that's been maybe more than 3 or 4 runs.
Yeah, I don't think so either. It's been quite a few matchups between these teams. The Joes have won one at Grady's Field. That was a 2-1 win, and then walked one off here.
2-2. Ripped into right. Tyler Haskins stays hot. Andrew Patrick ranging over as Haskins rounds hard. Parker Lester getting up, catching the cutoff. Could not think of that word. That has been a big block there.
3 out of the 4 scout hits coming from the bat of Tyler Haskins in the leadoff spot. Should mention also he's a catcher in the leadoff position. Very odd to see that.
Not something you see hardly ever.
He's been there, though, a couple times this season for the Scouts when they faced off against the Joes.
He's off with the pitch. Rover going to send that one to left field. Stigler running. That's just fair. Haskins, who was off with the pitch. Going to be a tough play at the plate. The throw from Bridges, a pump fake. The hit and run pays off for the Scouts as they tie the ball game.
Yeah, that ball was innocent looking enough as it was flown out there in left field. Hit really high and also toward the line. Thought if that ball was in fair territory, it would be caught, or that ball would land in foul territory, but instead just landed right on the line, the exact spot where it could spell trouble for the Joes, and the Scouts tie the game.
We have chalk out there, but we don't have enough zoom to see if there was chalk kicked up, but that definitely hit the foul line. We'll give Rover his first hit, first RBI of the game. And again, we're even. Neither team going down without a fight. We'll bring up Jared Eaton, who's down 0-1. Nothing to 1 to Jared Eaton. A couple of P5s on the ledger tonight for him. This ladder will open the back door. Threw back to Hudson. Pulled him off the mountain a little bit. Over there at second, Tommy Rover. Doubled in Tyler Haskins, who was called to show off some wheels just a couple of pitches ago. Scouts have tied this game here in the 5th. Hudson trying to Close the door. The 0-2. Hey, out in the left center field. That might find a gap. Grant Miller got on his horse. Stigler going to dive. Unable to get it in time. As Jared Eaton continues his good season. Gets himself an RBI double. And the Scouts have now taken the lead in the 5th.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure. The Joes seem to open up that gap really wide out there in left center field. As looked like Miller was playing in straightaway center and Stigler shadowing down the line. And that ball yet again put right in the perfect spot.
So a couple of well-placed hits, well-hit hits for the Scouts have given them 2 runs here in the inning to climb on top as that first pitch to Ross Smith will find the outside corner. Heard Evan Ulrich and Tyler Hudson talking the last time he threw here on the 4th of July against the Jazz and mentioned that he was tipping pitches, as that one will miss low. Mentioned that he was setting his hands higher for off speed and lower for fastballs. And in that game, the Jazz kind of teed off against him, had 7 hits, the most by far given up by Hudson, who now has given up 6 in this one as that one's hit out into center field. Grant Miller going to have to book his way in. It floats over to Patrick, who settles under it quite easily and makes the catch for out number 3. Ross Smith retired on the F9, but a couple of doubles from Rover and Eaton give the Joes some work to do. Scouts now lead 3-2. We go to the home half of the 5th. You're watching the All Wealth Hamilton Joes Broadcast Network.
The Robinson Fence Company of Hamilton has been serving the community for over 27 years. Receiving an A+ rating from the Better Business Bureau, they have been Hamilton's top choice for gating and fencing needs. Give them a visit at 1635 Howell Avenue in Hamilton, or give them a call at 513-867-0080. At Smoothie King,
Three balls, or 3-2 our score here in the bottom of the 5th. Top of the order, Grant Miller coming to the plate. Twisting and shouting his way into the right hand of his batter's box as he looks for his 3rd trip on today. Bunted his last up, reached on an error by Wells. The third baseman pays him his respects, comes in a little bit. We'll swing through the first one for strike 1. Self has kind of started behind the bag, but walks himself in to about even. But I don't know, that still might not be enough for Grant Miller. As the 0-1 hit to Rover on a couple of hops, has to get rid of it quickly. There's an absolute rope across the diamond to retire Grant Miller for the first time tonight. 6-3 will bring up Walker Bridges, who has also reached twice.
That's only the second really unproductive at-bat we've seen from the top 5 in this lineup for the Joes. The only other coming on a fly ball from Nick Wimmers, and even that advanced to runners. So really just the first straight-up out we've seen from the top of this order.
Walker Bridges is going to watch the breaking ball. Drop all the way out of the zone and low for ball 1. 3-2 our score here at Foundation Field. The lights starting to kick on with shadows now covering half of the infield. The 1-0, going to catch the inside corner. Couple of fist bumps from my broadcast partner to my right as he checks some scores around the league.
Southern Ohio Copperheads leading 2-1 now over the Cincinnati Steam.
Big Copperheads fans, big Ice Haulers fans tonight is the 1-1 going to miss off the plate.
Joes could move back into playoff position with a win today and a Cincinnati loss.
A bit partial to the Ice Haulers, as I did get to interview Josh Cross of the Ice Haulers, having himself a great season for the pregame of the All-Star Show.
Ice Haulers have done a great job, that organization in the North, in just their second season in the Great Lakes League, and been very, very competitive in both years so far.
And might have the best jerseys. That's the 3-1 roped in the left center. Hurd going over on it. He's not going to find it. That's going to roll all the way to the wall. Walker Bridges on his horse. He's going to try for 3. The throw from Hurd, not even going to be close. And Walker Bridges in with a style points sort of slide. Trey Turner type slide in there. Give Nick Wimmers another RBI opportunity with a 1-out triple.
Good for Walker there. That's the first time we've seen him hit a ball that hard in quite a while. That ball was crushed out there in left center, and you could see just almost a feeling of relief, you could say, on his face as he gestured towards the dugout, trying to hype his team up.
We'll bring Nick Wimmers to the plate as the infield will come in-ish, halfway, as that one will miss off the plate. Been seeing this a little bit more in the GLSCO than I have in my other broadcast days. It's about halfway. The corners come in and the middle infielders come about into the baseline. As that one swung on a miss from Wimmers. I guess the thinking is that turf's going to be a little hotter, and you're going to have a bit more time to react up the middle. But Wimmers is looking to put a ball in the outfield. Tie this game up for the Joes as he'll swing on a breaking ball in the dirt that bounces away from Haskins and is now in danger of striking out with Bridges over there at third.
They're shifted a little bit on him on the left side of the infield as Rover playing a little more towards third base at short.
1-2 going to miss upstairs, now evens at 2-2. Saw this shift a little bit against Brazier as we saw Neiman kind of play almost up the middle and Rover shift all the way to the left. But provides 2 big gaps in the infield as the 2-2. Cotton framed on the outside corner, a backdoor breaking ball. We'll put 2 outs on the board for the Joes. Bring up Parker Lester, who's had himself a good day so far.
Went after the first pitch his last time up and just crushed it up the middle.
Definitely rattled Wells a little bit as Wells kind of was knocked off of his feet, trying to kind of work his way out of the path of that ball. But now needing the ball into the outfield to hit to tie this game up. The breaking ball hung down the middle of the plate for strike 1. Always wondered what the approach kind of becomes with the breaking ball like that with the fastball in the mid-80s. What are you sitting on first pitch? Is that one will miss upstairs? Because Wells has thrown both for first pitch strikes on multiple occasions. So you kind of have to sit on one and just almost guess, I suppose. 1 ball, 1 strike. Hit that ball in the left field. Parker Lester comes in clutch. An RBI single as he doesn't stop. The throw comes into second. In time. But the Joes do tie the ball game. 3-3 on an RBI single from Parker Lester. His second hit of the ball game, second RBI. We're all squared once again. Going into the 6th inning, you're watching the All Wealth Hamilton Joes Broadcast Network.
Story Point Fairfield isn't just a place to reside. It's a place for residents to truly shine every day, offering a diverse range of senior living services. Our community is designed to suit all resident lifestyles, from highly independent seniors to those who may require day-to-day assistance. Every resident becomes a member of our community. We strive to make sure each moment of each day is something to remember. Whether you need one surface for multiple sports or a sports-specific field build, the Motts Group is here to help. Their experience ranges from professional sports clubs to educational institutions to community complexes, fueling teams with consistent, safe, and reliable fields. Contact them at 513-548-3622 to get your new turf field.
Joe's fans, in need of insurance, United Heartland Insurance Agency has your back. A consolidation of a number of family-owned independent insurance agencies dating back to 1872, for years they have been protecting the assets of their clients by offering comprehensive and competitive business, personal, and life insurance products. Visit their Hamilton office at 185 North Brookwood Avenue in Hamilton, or give them a call at 513-896-5555.
The highly anticipated home debut of Travis Smith. Come in relief for Tyler Hudson, who goes 5 innings. Will have himself a no decision as the Joes were able to climb back and tie this game. But Travis Smith, we've talked about him the last time he threw against the Steam. Very excited to see how he throws the last couple of games in this season.
Absolutely. Travis Smith, very, very exciting prospect out of the University of Kentucky. Pitched well, was a little bit around the zone against the Steam, but that's to be expected as he has not pitched in a game in a very long time. It's been over a year.
Yeah, saw the first inning a little around the zone, but then kind of laser locked right back in and did very well. He'll face Jeffrey Hurd as the first pitch will miss off the plate.
You can tell, though, just by watching him that the stuff is there. I mean,
Yeah.
his fastball sits in the 90s. He's got mid-80s on the off speed.
The 1-0 gonna miss presumably low, as I think that one finds the inside corner. Wimmers was set up off the plate. Had to reach across, and that's probably the only reason I see him maybe missing the call. Is the 2-0 hit a mile into the air. Walker Bridge is gonna camp under it. Had to make a little bit of a run out to the shortstop, but is able to make the catch for the first out. Jeffrey Hurd, a couple of hard hit balls into the air. Is now retired for the third time. We're at Colby Ferris.
That is the third P5 of the game for the Scouts.
Yeah.
Really odd to see him pop out to that one position so often.
Walker getting some work over there at third for sure.
Inserted back in the lineup, he's getting 2 games worth of work.
Ferris laces that one off of the Little League field to our right. That rattled the cage over there.
There's a kid who was on the field who saw that ball right away and just wanted to go get it.
No balls and 1 strike to Ferris. That's a very big breaking ball from Travis Smith. Broke easily 10 feet. One fastball just off the outside corner. Travis Smith throwing up the hands as he thought that one was strike 2. We all did up here in the booth. Mentioned earlier, it's been a coin flip on the outside corner. It really has. Sometimes he's been consistent, sometimes he hasn't. As the 2-1 shot over to the Scouts bullpen. A couple of guys ducking out of the way. A lot of stuff to the right-hand side so far for the Scouts. Saw Hurd hit one the other way in the air to Bridges. Now Ferris fouling him off to the right-hand side as a righty. The 2-2. Big swing and a miss. Pulls the string a little bit on that one. Got him to chase down in the zone. Strikeout number 1 for Travis Smith. And strikeout number 5 overall for the Joes.
And Smith looking good here. Mentioned just couldn't quite find the edge of that zone. Was really, really close in both the at-bats, but able to get his strikeout.
That one's laced to Parker Lester on a dive. Unable to get a glove on it as Blaze Bell goes hunting on the first pitch. Gets his first hit of the ball game. Mentioned he was 1 for 16 his last time up, 1 for 17, now 2 for 18. Basic maths. Don't count on that a lot for me. The math is not always there. We'll bring up Nate Self. 0 for 1 in the ball game. Does have a walk and a run scored. As that one misses low. Did we ever get an answer on that trivia question?
Oh, we did not, and it is the 6th.
Pickoff move over there. Nothing doing as Blaze Bell's back in time.
So we got a couple guessers. Once again, the question. So this year, the Licking County Settlers, Cincinnati Steam, Hamilton Joes, and Xenia Scouts are competing for a playoff position as the top 4 teams in the South.
2-0 the count.
In a particular year, it was those same 4 teams that finished top 4, and these 2 playing tonight that topped the South Division. What year was that? If you got the hint that it was a special year for the Joes, you might have gotten it.
That one's fouled to the backstop.
It was a special year because it was a championship year for the Hamilton Joes. The answer, 2016, in which the Joes and Scouts were tied atop the GLSCL South with 27 and 15 regular season records. Joes defeating the Lima Locos after knocking off Xenia in the Division Series to win their 2nd championship in franchise history.
Painting the inside corner now is Travis Smith. He said 27 and 15.
Yes, indeed.
42 games?
27 and 15. That was their same record actually as last year in the 42-game season. The length has been knocked down a little bit this year as we're only playing 38.
Cheated. It's a 2-2. Fouled off. Four less games, feel like we should have one more round. You know, a little extra 3-game series.
Well, the thought process is the teams are stretched so thin at the end of the season that you want to play as few games as possible. The amount of games is being knocked down lower and lower.
The 2-2 froze him. The breaking ball breaks about 50 feet and gets Nate Self looking. So a big K for Travis Smith, who comes in and hangs a 0 with 2 Ks. We go to the home half of the 6th. You're watching the All Wealth Hamilton Joes Broadcast Network.
The Greater Miami Valley YMCA. When communities get better, the world gets better. Discover how we positively impact the nation and how you can help us, one neighborhood at a time. The Greater Miami Valley Y, your local stop for building a healthy spirit for mind and body for all. At Brown Dawson Flick Funeral Home, we don't just care for the recently departed. We serve those who held them most dearly. Our families have known since 1935 that they can count on our honest and respectful staff to provide only the highest level of service. The kind of service that you can't get just anywhere these days. We invite you to explore our site to learn more about Brown Dawson Flick Funeral Home at browndawsonflick.com, a proud sponsor of your Hamilton Joes.
So Cal Brazier going to lead things off after Parker Lester singled in an RBI, tried to stretch a single into a double back in the 5th. Was gunned down out there by Jeffrey Hurd. So Cal Brazier back up. 1 for 1 of the night so far from Cal. A walk and a single. We're going Brazier, Ulrich, and Lowe. First pitch right down the middle from our new pitcher, Grayson Munyon. Apologies if we mispronounce anything. We do not get any sort of pronunciation guide up here. But looks like Munyon, M-O-N-Y-O-N. 0-1 the count to Brazier. As that one will miss off the plate. Taking over for Jacob Wells, who went 5 innings. Just gave those 3 runs to the Joes. As we're all tied up here at Foundation Field, 3-3 our score. You're making appearance number 7 on the mound for the Scouts on this season. It's the 1-1 cut on a miss from Brazier. Went hunting for that fastball. Missed it. Munyon from Collierville, Tennessee. I believe that's where Riley Hawthorne's from.
I believe it is.
So both a couple of Collierville boys. I'll have to ask Riley if they know each other. That one's crushed out into center. Camped under it is Ross Smith. A little too much air under it from Cal. As we've only really seen Deering hit one out there into center field be successful. But we'll bring up Evan Ulrich. Munyon, a sophomore for Birmingham Southern College. That's where he played his last year. A record of 0-1 and an 8.10 ERA on the mound, as that one will miss off first pitch to Evan Ulrich, now 1-0. 6 games played, 2 starts, 10 innings, 11 strikeouts, 8 walks, 9 hits.
They went to different high schools. He and Riley Hawthorne.
A big area. As that one's ripped to the left field. That's going to bounce right in front of Jeffrey Hurd, and Evan Ulrich, after being denied a couple of times, gets his first hit of the ball game.
So Munyon went to Colliersville High School. Riley Hawthorne is technically, according to the Joes, from Collierville, but according to Murray State, from Germantown, Tennessee. He went to Houston High School. Something you often see in the Great Lakes League is the hometowns are different.
Yeah, Wimmers says he's from Lincoln. He's not from Lincoln. He's from the Cincinnati area. First pitch to Sam Lowe, cut on a missed.
I believe for the purposes of signing the contract to play in this league, you have to list a home address, and that is where they say you're from on the website, regardless of whether or not you're actually native to there. So a lot of these guys, it says their college town is their hometown, even when it's not. Wimmer's a case for that.
0-1. Right down the middle now, moves the count 0-2. Also, Brock Narker.
Yeah, Narker, Toledo native, listed for the Joes being from Fairborn, Ohio, but that is because he plays for the Wright State Raiders in the Dayton area.
Sam Lowe trying to turn his net around, is 0 for 2 with 2 strikeouts, but is down 0-2 in this count. Big old gap on the right-hand side. That one will catch the outside corner. Sam Lowe not liking that one. Has a couple of words for the umpire, has to be careful. As Casey Fink was tossed last night, don't want to see back-to-back ejections for the Joes, especially down the stretch. But well off the zone there. A big old expansion will put Sam Lowe down on strikes and put 2 outs on the board for Stigler as the runner will take off. The throw from Haskins, a 1-hop.
Evan's a speedster, I'll tell you.
I believe the pitch was called the ball. The home plate umpire was holding up the left hand. We'll put a runner in scoring position for Steven Stigler. His first RBI opportunity of the night.
Evan now 3 for 5 stealing bases this season.
He's not catching tonight, he's DHing, so maybe the leg's a little more fresh. Want to know the count. Stigler gonna dance out of the way of that one. Count to move to 2-0. Stigler now in the driver's seat in this at-bat as the lights have turned on. Those clouds out there Out in center, reminding me at home, looks like the Cascade Mountains. Gorgeous sunset tonight. That's a 2-0. Gonna miss. I thought I heard a strike call from the home plate umpire, but no motion.
Heard something yelled, but it just missed the inside corner.
So Stigler ahead in this count. Andrew Patrick sits on deck. Patrick doubled yesterday in the game against the Steam. That one, this is just off the plate, and Stigler will reach for the first time tonight via a 4-pitch walk. Give 2 runners on for Andrew Patrick.
Andrew Patrick.
Finally getting his walk-up song. It's been a couple of innings, as we had to kind of make a mad scramble up here in the press box with Ryan Finnerty being sick today. His laptop is used for all music and walk-up songs, so we've had to kind of scramble. And shout out to Grant Ingham over there on our left for figuring that stuff out. The first pitch to AP hit right on the ground to Neiman. One pitch to retire AP and retire the side, as the Joes will leave 2 runners on here in the 6th. 3-3 our score through 6 innings. We're going to go to the 7th. You're watching the All with Hamilton Joes Broadcast Network.
Bridgewater Falls offers guests a unique shopping experience with more than 30 shopping destinations, including Target, JCPenney, Ulta, Best Buy, Michaels, Dick's Sporting Goods, and many more. Bridgewater Falls also has a wide variety of delicious dining destinations. From burgers to pizza to sushi, experience all the flavors of Bridgewater Falls. Bridgewater Falls is located just off the Butler County Veterans Highway, Ohio 129, at the corner of Princeton Road and Bypass 4. Come experience a great shopping, dining, and services in the heart of Fairfield Township, Ohio.
Top of the 7th, as cheers have rung around the press box. We look around the league. Sandusky up huge on the Licking County Settlers, 11-1, and the Copperheads above the Steam, 6-1. The Joes needing to win this game to kind of pole vault themselves up the standings. The first pitch to Peyton Neiman on the inside corner. Travis Smith still on the mound. Looking to pick up where he left off. Couple of Ks to get out of the last inning. That one chopped at Parker Lester, ranging to his left. Had a little bit of trouble getting the ball out of his glove, but over there at second, you got enough time to make the play. And Neiman goes down for the first out of the inning.
Little curveball to first.
Yeah.
Split finger.
Yeah.
I think he caught it kind of weird trying to pull it out of the glove and instead just floated it up. Now a little, don't even know what that was with Lester, Brazier, and Andrew Patrick and Wright.
I think that's the set jump that they all do before the inning, and I think it might have been memed by Parker Lester. I think they were making fun of him for it as that one catches the inside corner.
They all faced each other and then jumped.
Tyler Haskins, the best bat in this Scouts lineup tonight, as that one will miss inside. Now 1-1. 2 singles and a double. An RBI run scored. And a caught stealing, so he's been all over the board tonight. And a caught stealing on the other side, so a full scorebook tonight for Tyler Haskins as he watches the 1-1 miss outside 2-1. Smith did allow one base runner back in the 6th. That was Blaze Bell, who laced one into right field. There's a little more gas on that one. That's an expensive fastball with the gas prices nowadays. Evens the count at 2-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. With the leadoff man, Tyler Haskins. Chopped at the plate, but just foul. Wimmers will camp under it. Smith looking to retire Haskins for the first time tonight. It's been a thorn in this Joe's side the whole evening. Now fully under the bright lights. It's the only thing really shining out there is that steeple out in the center field. Breaking ball. Not sure whether that missed up or out. One or the other, because it wasn't both. Great pitch from Travis Smith. Didn't get anyone to bite, including the home plate umpire. Fills the count at 3-2, and Haskins will reach. I was looking at Haskins' stats before the game. Haskins doing a tremendous job this season at reaching base, as he came in with 23 walks in the day. That's now 24. 24 walks in 28 games played is actually ridiculous. So almost reaching base every time he's played. A bunt's going to be squared. Wimmers comes around it, fires over to first in time, right in the middle of the chest of Cal Brazier, as Tommy Rover will be retired on a technically a sacrifice bunt, giving Jared Eaton a runner in scoring position. We mentioned how good Eaton's been all season. Doubled just 2 innings ago to give the Scouts the lead at the time. A couple of P5s and a double for the man out of Mobile. It fell off the first pitch he sees to Travis Smith. Smith with more of the curveball. Hudson with the slider. Some vertical drop as opposed to horizontal. Parker Lester going to come all the way off the bag as the 0-1 going to miss off the plate.
Ice Haulers run rule the Licking County Settlers 11-1 from Denison University. So Licking County falls to 19-13. If the Joes are able to pull this one out, they would move up just 1 game behind Licking County.
That one shot up the middle. Grant Miller going to let that one drop in front of him. I thought he was going to come in and catch that one. That's why he stopped moving. Obviously, we don't have an angle out there in center field, so we don't know if that one was right in front of him. It looked like it was right in front of him from our angle. But Jared Eaton continues his cruise against the GLSCL and the Joes in general. That's now 2 hits, 2 RBIs in this game and back-to-back at-bats. Give the Scouts a 4-3 lead. This game continues to go back and forth. The sac bunt, I honestly thought was a weird move until I saw Jared Eaton step to the plate, and pays off there. As now Ross Smith going to swing over the first pitch he sees.
Yeah, and that's one of the only ways that you're probably going to be able to get the run off a single with the runner on second. Because of how hard Travis Smith throws, you're probably going to hit the ball back pretty hard the other way.
That one is missed down.
So you got to think that if you're reflecting that ball back hard and maybe pull it to one side, you're probably going to get it in the outfield too quickly to score that runner. So putting it out in center was really your best bet unless you could maybe find a gap.
Pick-off move. Eaton back in time. Eaton, who started the season late for the Scouts, has collected 15 stolen bags now on 18 attempts, as he'll attempt here. The throw in time, the tag not in time. So Eaton able to get in before the tag. A great throw from Wimmers. Could have probably been a better pitch from Smith to throw on, as Wimmers was kind of pulled off his right side. But regardless, Eaton with his 16th stolen base of the season. 2-1 in there. As Smith now down to 2 strikes. Tried to take his time. The home plate umpire motioning him back in to the batter's box. There is slightly a timer or a delay of game penalty that can be issued on a batter if he's not keeping a foot in, and the umpire's giving him a couple warnings. Eaton now taking off for third. That one chopped to the third base side. Sam Lowe going to pick it up and throw it. They'll call him safe. I have no idea how he was safe. We're going to turn our crowd mic down in case some unruly fans decide to have an opinion. But he was definitely out.
That was a good heads-up play by Sam Lowe. He fielded that on the backhand. That's the classic Sam Lowe play we see with that ball hitting the 5-6 holes. Now we are going to get an appeal to Scott Wyckoff at home. But he just does that thing where he slides up on one knee and makes the play on the backhand. But because of the way he makes that play, the nature of the slide, that takes him really deep into that 5-6 hole. And they're going to reverse and call him out. And now Tim Cole obviously frustrated. But, yeah, great play by Lowe because he realized that the runner, which was Jared Eaton, had taken a round on third, and he had no chance. I mean, he was going to have to make a heck of a play to get that throw over to first in time. So he just decided to go to third, and it was the right decision to get Walker Bridges. As now Tim Cole continuing to talk to Scott Wyckoff, but the Joes do catch a break.
4-3 our score as the Scouts do take the lead in the 7th. It's stretch time here at Foundation Field. We'll be right back. You're watching the All Hamilton Joes Broadcast Network. So we have seen an ejection.
Tim Cole has been ejected from the game.
That conversation got more and more escalated as the time went on. Tim Cole, one of the nicest people that we've met coaching-wise.
Yeah, he's one of the most calm coaches, one of the nicest guys in this league. Very, very surprised to see that escalate the way it did. But Cole was ejected from the game. Daryl Grissom, who's filling in as interim assistant coach for the Joes today, came out and kind of pulled him back as he was in the umpire's faces, and he was escorted out.
Grant Miller going to foul that one off.
But wow, very surprised. And as long as the rule is same for coaches as it is for players, that would mean that Cole is suspended for tomorrow when these two teams will meet here at Foundation Field again as well. So I'd have to check on the league rule, but
it's normally a one game.
Yeah, that's the rule for players, I know.
Yeah, as Casey Fink serving that one down there in the concession stand as the 0-1 hit out of play.
But maybe a big boost of momentum that the Joes could use here, down by 1.
I understand where he's upset having the home plate umpire have to make that call. He didn't have the best angle on it. But at the same time, I don't know what was said in that meeting, but it looked like he was upset at first, kind of calmed down, and then it reignited as the 0-2 hitting the right field. Ferris going to watch that one drift out of play over to the Scouts bullpen.
Up in the Joes bullpen, Zach Breeden's been thrown out there for a little while. Thought maybe we'd see him out for the last inning, as he's now been pitching in there for about 2 innings, but instead Travis Smith retook the mound. So probably Breeden for at least the 8th and probably the 9th if things go well for the Joes.
He had himself a big save a couple of games ago where he pitched I believe 2 innings, if not 3. The top of the order, exactly who you want to have up at this point. As Miller technically 1 for 3, but has reached base twice. The 1-2 off the chest plate of Haskins rolls all the way over to the Scouts dugout.
Breeden's last time out, he pitched 4 innings in the middle of a 9-2 win over Southern Ohio here at Foundation Field.
I don't know which one I was thinking of. The 2-2, gonna miss off the plate.
And then 2 times ago, on June 29th, he came in against the Cincinnati Steam to pitch the final 3 innings in a 5-2 win. Did get the save in that one.
That was the one. Grant Miller trying to work his way on for the 3rd time tonight. 1 single, a reach on an error, and a 6-3 put out. That error coming off a bunt that he bunted right back at Wells, who threw it into right field. But has worked the count full. 3-2. That one will miss, or rather not. I don't think anybody here thought that was strike 3 except for maybe the home plate umpire. Haskins was
Third baseman, Walker Bridges.
late to consider that one a strikeout, as the umpiring has, in my opinion, gotten a little worse over the last couple innings. A backwards K for Grant Miller to start things off in the 7th, as that one will miss inside. Walker Bridges, a big old double his last time up, out in the left center gap. As we see Ross Smith just kind of shade his way out there. He'll rip that one over to Rover after fielding on the backhand. Have to go across the diamond. As the play made in time, Walker Bridges giving it his all to make a great play for out number 2.
Yeah, slid into first base, made it close, but just a tiny bit too slow.
It has been proven that sliding is not faster.
It is not faster. However,
it makes you look cooler. At least it makes you look,
and it can depend also on the slide, a head first slide and more of a dive, you could say.
That one will miss off the plate. They checked both on the sports science.
They did, yeah.
They kind of came up with.
Sometimes I would think when you have those bang plays, like sometimes you'll see on bunts where guys will slide into first. That does seem like it might be a little faster.
1-0 hit fair. Wimmers didn't move. Said that one, thought that one hit off his foot. We all did up here in the press box. They're gonna ask, because
they're bringing the scouts back onto the field right away.
I thought immediately that one caught his foot.
And Wimmers is not a guy to not run one out, so
yeah,
that is rather odd.
He's a guy to run one out a little too hard in some regards.
It will hold up the call, though.
Interesting call all the way around as we go to the 8th inning. Some questionable things going on at Foundation Field. 4-3 our score. We'll be right back with the All Wealth Hamilton Joe's Broadcast Network.
At Brown Dawson Flick Funeral Home, we don't just care for the recently departed. We serve those who held them most dearly. Our families have known since 1935 that they can count on our honest and respectful staff to provide only the highest level of service. The kind of service that you can't get just anywhere these days. We invite you to explore our site to learn more about Brown Dawson Flick Funeral Home at browndawsonflick.com, a proud sponsor of your Hamilton Joes.
Number 31.
Zach Breeden going to come in as we'll change the graphic. We'll spell the end of the day for Travis Smith, who pitched 2 innings and gave up 1 run. The Joes trailing the Scouts 4-3. Hope for Breeden to hang some zeros as the offense looks to get going on the other side. Jeffrey Hurd will lead things off after a wild inning in general. We've seen an ejection. We've seen a strikeout on a ball that bounced in at the plate, and a couple of words said from both sides, as neither side happy with the home plate umpire. But Zach Breeden will come in to face Hurd, Ferris, and Bell here in the 8th. Joe's just trailing by 1. Needs some positive momentum in their favor, as that one will break all the way off the plate.
Joes go from a hard-throwing righty, flip it around to a lefty in Zach Breeden.
The 2-0 almost hit up here in the press box. Will ring off the top of the netting.
Zach Breeden has kind of worked his way up the last season and has turned into a pretty solid fastballer, sitting in the upper 80s and low 90s with that left side release.
Ring him up. I think that one was called a ball. The scoreboard up here said,
Yeah, it was called a ball.
yeah.
It's 3-1.
I don't know where that one missed, but 3-1 the count now to Jeffrey Hurd. Three balls, 1 strike. Breeden looking to make his way back into this at bat. He will not do so, as that one will miss inside and will walk the leadoff man, Jeffrey Hurd. Hurd will reach for the first time tonight.
Right fielder, Colby Ferris.
Bring up Colby Ferris. Also over, but has been hit by a pitch. He'll square to bunt. That ball comes all the way into Bridges. He'll field it cleanly, throw it across the diamond in time. Ferris extending his hands.
It's waving safe.
Yeah, it was not. And that'll be out number 1.
Always got to
So-
plead your case.
Yeah, every once in a while, obviously as a runner, you're going to feel like you're a lot closer than we are watching the full play. That one will find the outside corner. So Ferris, a sack bunt. Second time we've seen a sack bunt in 2 innings is Rover bunted over Haskins, as that one came to the favor of the Scouts, as they took the lead at the time. Was hit just foul up the left field line, and Zach Breeden now ahead in the count, 0-2.
This could be a huge game for the Joes to come back and win, as right now Southern Ohio maybe looking for a run rule chance on Cincinnati. They got bases loaded with 1 out, up 9-1.
Almost necessary for the Joes to have this game, as that one will miss low. One ball, 2 strikes, as Breeden pitches with a runner on second with 1 out here in the 8th. Pressure situation once again for Zach Breeden, the Miami Hamilton Harrier. That one gets a big chase, swing and a miss from Colby Ferris. A big out, number 2 for Zach Breeden. Step number 2 to leave that runner stranded out there in scoring position. Rather, sorry, that last at bat was Blaze Bell. Don't know why I said Colby Ferris. So Ferris and Bell now down back to back. Bell down on strikes the 3rd time in tonight's ball game. We'll bring up Nate Self. First pitch going to bounce away from Wimmers. Hits off the left leg. As he went down to almost try to block that. That breaking ball broke a large amount all the way to the bottom left corner of the zone. So Hurd now to third. Big rhyme on that one. One out. Almost comes in and hits Self as Breeden falls down. Behind you, the count 2-0.
Come, Zach, here, come get him.
Needing Breeden to just kind of collect himself, find the zone. It's a huge run for the Scouts as the Joe's offense has gone quite dormant over the last couple of innings. The 2-0, just off the outside corner. Some groans of dismay from the Joe's faithful. Joe's have not scored a run since the 5th. They will look to do so in the 8th. As back-to-back games have gone down to the wire for the Joes. The 3-0, that'll miss low, and we'll put Nate Self on the bases to bring up Peyton Neem in the 9-hole.
Second baseman, Peyton Neiman.
So 2 walks in the inning. Jeffrey Hurd walked, was bunted over to second, advanced to third on a wild pitch. And now Nate Self over at first base just drew a 4-pitch walk from Breeden. We'll bring up Peyton Neiman. A couple of ground outs in the strikeout, 0 for 3 tonight. Breeden looking to make it 0 for 4. Get out of this big inning in the 8th. Keep the Joes just 1 behind. First pitch just gonna miss low. Breeden, the third pitcher to come in for the Joes. Hudson started things off. Gave up 3 runs. Smith gave up 1. And now Breeden in danger of giving up another one. With runners at the corners. Still has 2 outs, just 1 pitch away from getting out of this inning. Lumber's going through hand signals behind the dish. Finally gets the pitch. As that one will miss low again, I guess. Peyton Neiman very patient behind in the right-handed batter's box. A lot of pitches have been very close around the zone. But now behind the count 3-0 is Breeden. And he won't find the zone once again. I'm going to be completely honest, I don't know where that one's missing. As Tyler Thaman will call time. Evan Ulrich now races out there to the bullpen as we do have somebody warming up.
There's a righty out there throwing for the Joes. Looks like it might be potentially Shea Hendrickson. Looks like it might be 34 out there.
Baseball scores in the 6th, Copperheads 9, Steam 1. Ice Haulers win over the Settlers 11-1.
Looking around the league, already the Lincoln County Settlers have lost to the Sandusky Ice Haulers in run rule fashion. And the Copperheads ahead 12-1 over the Steam. About to run rule them. This game incredibly crucial for the Joes' postseason hopes. Half game behind the second spot with the Steam. 2 games behind the Lincoln County Settlers for first. It's going to come down to the wire regardless. The Joes control their own destiny in some regards. It's the first pitch to the top of the order. Tyler Haskins will find the outside corner as you hear cheers around Foundation Field. This Joe's faithful has not been too happy with the home plate umpire for the last inning or so. 0-1. That's on the outside corner. Back-to-back strikes now for Zach Breeden as he begins to hunt down a big strikeout here in the 8th. looking for his second strikeout of the inning to get out of a big old jam. That one hit up the middle. Samlo will field it, almost hit off the field umpire. Play will be made 6 unassisted for out number 3. So Haskins retired for the first time tonight in a big, big spot. If you go to the home half of the 8th, the Joes trailing by 1. You're watching the All Wealth Hamilton Joes Broadcast Network. Trey Ricco going to come on to try to hold things off for the Scouts. Name sounds familiar. It's because Ricco did blow the save back on opening day against the Joes. Joes won that game 6-5. Sense has only thrown 3 1/3 as that one's chopped on the ground to Neiman. Almost jumped all the way up over his head as he came running in, but one pitch to retire Parker Lester. We'll bring up Cal Brazier. Parker Lester was having a great day at the plate, was 2 for 2 with 2 RBIs.
Had some words for the Scouts dugout on the way back.
Normally, the Scouts team very mild-mannered.
Very much so.
But it seems like tonight they've been a little wrestled. You know, some feathers have been ruffled on both sides. As we get to, when you get to September in baseball, this is the temperatures flare up as well. So late July, same thing happening as Cal Brazier launches that one into the air. Jeffrey Hurd looked like he lost it. I don't know if he waved off Smith or if he gave a salute or what out there in left field, but made a big old hand motion as he stood under it to make the play for out number 2.
Change the launch angle on that.
Yeah.
Bring it down by 2 or 3 degrees, and that's gone.
That ball was crushed, but hit way too high. We'll bring up Evan Ulrich. As that one cut on a missed. Ricco We mentioned 3 1/3 innings, 3 strikeouts, 3 walks, 5 hits. As that one misses off the plate, a 13.50 ERA.
Gonna get a pinch hitter on deck for Sam Lowe, who finishes with a sombrero, 3 strikeouts, 0 for 3. Clay Badalak gonna come into the game for the Joes.
Bring up the lefty to face the righty in Trey Ricco if it gets there. Needing Evan Ulrich to stay hot. Singled his last time up, sends that one in the right field, cutting, and will find its way out of play for strike 2. But Ulrich has been close all night. That 4-3, we thought he might have beat out. It was very close over there at first. The F9 on the scorecard was stolen from Colby Ferris, who made a phenomenal running play to steal that hit from him, and then finally got a hit in the 6th. Hit one to the right-hand side. 1-2. Lace in the left field. That's going to be extra bases. Actually, it died. Jeffrey Hurd going to fire another one in there. The second time tonight they've tried to test him out there in left field. Answers the call, does Jeffrey Hurd, and a wasted base runner for the Joes will bring us to the 9th. 4-3 our score. You're watching the All Wealth Hamilton Joes Broadcast Network. Two, three, four here in the 9th as the Scouts lead 4-3. We'll face the new pitcher on the mound for the Joes, Shea Hendrickson, looking to keep the score where it is at 4-3. Give the Joes a chance to bring 7, 8, 9 up to win the game in the bottom half of the 9th. First pitch from Shea will miss off the plate. Hendrickson making appearance number 10 on the season. Has 2 starts. This one out of the bullpen. Is that one will miss inside. Another University of Southern Indiana guy. Last time we saw him out was the 11th of July at the Mariners just before the All-Star game back on Monday, as that one will miss inside as well. Went 2 1/3. You have 3 walks, 4 strikeouts in that game where nobody was really hitting for either team against the Mariners. It was a 3-hitter combined. It's a 3-0, gonna miss just up. And Rover will reach for the second time tonight. Had a sac bunt his last time up. 4-pitch walk to lead things off, bring up the best and hottest bat in the Scouts lineup in Jared Eaton. Would have loved to face him with nobody on. Eaton, 2 hits in his last 2 at-bats as we get a pickoff move. Nothing doing over there as Rover getting back in time. Eaton a couple of P5s, had a tough time getting things going against Hudson, but then on his last at-bat against Tyler Hudson, doubled, brought home an RBI, still squared a bunt. Will pull back as that one's called a strike. Eaton not too happy about that one. I'm not sure where that one found the zone. We'll take it anyway. Eaton with a double and a single in the 5th and the 7th has brought home 2 RBIs. Again, another pickoff move. Hendrickson have to be careful not to throw one away here and give Rover some free bases. Tommy Rover taking off with the pitch. That ball is hit in the air and into center field. A hit and run for Eaton. Miller will get that ball in quickly. As over to third is Rover. A successful hit and run as Jared Eaton continues to eat up the Joes.
That one just over the head of the tall man, Parker Lester, at second base. Joe's so close to getting 2 on that one, as with the hit and run would have been able to get Rover, who was already basically at second, but instead now sticky situation here with guys in the corners and nobody out.
Joe's not going to bring the infield in. They will bring the infield in. Here we go. Samuel went back to his normal position, but is now come halfway into the baseline. Ross Smith going to watch a ball in the outside corner for strike 1. Eaton Eaton, with 1 stolen base in the day. Mentioned he came with 15, now sits at 16. A lot of speed over there on the first base bags of the Scouts. Pickoff move to keep him close over there. Looking over at the Cincinnati Steam game, they have the bases loaded with 2 outs as the Copperheads look to close that one out in the 7th, make that one a run rule victory. Eaton will now take off. The throw, a pump fake from Wimmers. They'll let him have the bag as
now you can bring the full infield in with the
Yeah.
double play eliminated. Not necessarily the worst thing in the world. It's interesting. What do you want to do? Because you maybe don't necessarily want to go for that double play there if you get a ball in the middle infield, as you really need to keep that runner on third right now.
nothing to do to Ross Smith. Well, kicking away from Wimmers, hits off Smith at the plate, will become a dead ball. The Cheds are victorious. Win that game against the Steam. Helping the Joes out when they need to help themselves out. 2 runners on. Second and third. As that one will be fouled off of the plate. Ross Smith, 2 for 4 on the night. F7, F9, and 2 singles. Probably the biggest pitch of the game right here. 1-2. Just gonna miss low. Try to get him to chase on that one. Smith not obliging. Rover at third, Eaton at second. Joe's infield in, trying to keep this game at a 1-run deficit. The 0-2 or the 2-2. Caught him looking. Broke on the inside corner. Was too much for Ross Smith. They'll go down on strikes, a backwards K, and a big one for Shea Hendrickson.
Absolutely. Just to record that first out, now you really got yourself into the inning. Big one there from Shea.
You're facing the part of the order that's just got 1 hit over the last couple 5 through 9. Hurd reaches last time up. Couple flyouts, a pop out and a walk. That's a big fastball. Chasing up in the zone is Jeffrey Hurd. Hurd's been phenomenal defensively. He's thrown out 2 Joe's batters at second, trying to stretch for singles into doubles. Both Lester and Ulrich. Ulrich being last inning. Hendrickson trying to get us to the 9th. 4-3 our score. Wimmers Again with the hand signals, not trying to give away any free pitches. Is that one on the outside corner? Hendrickson with his back up against the wall has answered the call so far. And a backwards K to Smith, now adding the count to Jeffrey Hurd, 0-2. Eaton at second, Rover at third, 4-3 our score. Top of the ninth inning as Hurd will call time.
We'll see if Hendrickson maybe tries to waste this or potentially even make Hurd chase, or if he's just going to go right after him.
Hurd did chase up in the zone on a fastball earlier in this count. The breaking ball broke so much that got away from Wimmers as we all held our breath up here in the box. Wimmers was unable to squeeze it, popped out of his glove. I don't think that's what he thought he was getting.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
He went up for a fastball to catch it, and it broke all the way in. He had to shift himself back down and try to make the catch. It popped out, and then he was unable to locate it. Scared everybody here at the park. The 1-2 upstairs. 2 balls, 2 strikes now. Two balls, 2 strikes. Ross Smith also had a 2 balls, 2 strikes count. Was caught looking for out number 1. The 2-2. Chased in the dirt. Will require a throw to first. They'll get it into the chest of Cal Brazier as we all take a collective deep breath up here in the press box. Beautiful breaking ball to get Hurd to chase down in the zone. Bounced away from Wimmers, and we all kind of had to hold our breaths. We know Wimmers is good enough behind the dish to make that throw, but you never know. It's the game of baseball. 2 outs now for Colby Ferris as Hendrickson is looking to walk himself on the tightrope. First pitch fouled off.
Great catch in the Joe's dugout by Tyler Thaman. Jumped up and made the catch straight over his head. He's locked in.
Calling quick hands Thaman for nothing. No balls, 1 strike, 2 outs. 2 runners on for the Scouts who have a 1-run lead. The 0-1 shot out of play as well. And now a 2-strike count for Shea Hendrickson. Back-to-back strikeouts to Smith and Hurd. Ahead in the count here. Wilmer's calling time. Saw Jeffrey Hurd chasing the dirt on the breaking ball. Saw Ross Smith have his knees buckled in the breaking ball. Both of those resulting in strikeouts. See what Hutchinson goes here with 2 strikes. A fastball. Blow it by him for strike 3. So Hendrickson strikes out the side and keeps the game at a 1-run deficit. The Joes will bring up 7, 8, 9. It'll be Badalack, Stigler, and Patrick as we go to the home half of the ninth. They're watching the All World Hamilton Joes Broadcast Network. Mark Skilmer on for the Scouts. Closer for this Xenia team to face 7, 8, and 9. You'll notice we see a new batter in the batter's box. That's Clay Badalak, who will come in to face Skomer in replacement of Sam Lowe. As Lowe, or rather Badalak will watch that one on the outside corner. Skomer has one of the funkier deliveries that we've seen. Comes in and has a bit of a sidearm kind of delivery.
3 saves on the season for him.
And making appearance number 11. No blown save category that we have on the quick stats, but it's 0 for 1, so that one will be find the outside corner for strike 1. Had to save his last time out on the 10th of July against the Mariners. You have 1 hit, 2 strikeouts, and 4 batters faced to get the save. As that one will miss low. And the count will leave it at 2-2. Pardon me. Something got in my throat all of a sudden. Bottom of the 9th, do or die for the Joes. Badalak trying to work his way on, be the leadoff base runner. As that one be shot. Everybody having to get out of the way. Stigler jumped.
That was almost a double kill.
Yeah.
Almost got Stigler on deck, and then Patrick, who's in the hole.
We call that one an ugly finder in the game of baseball. So Badalak in 288 on the season. Will swing right through that one back into the glove of Haskins. And Skomer getting the first out of the inning.
4 strikeouts now combined for the 7th slot in the lineup for the Joes.
We'll bring up Steven Stigler, the new guy, making his 3rd appearance of the season. Looking to kickstart the hearts of the Joes. Get something pumping offensively. And Andrew Patrick on deck. And Grant Miller waiting in the wings in the hole, as that one will find the inside corner. Slider on the front door as the 1-1. Now comes the other side of the zone, and that one's not called the strike. That one's off the plate. Stigler 0 for 2, 2 ground outs and a walk. We'll love a big walk here from Stiggs. Here in the 9th. The 2-1 hit back in the glove of Haskins. Stigler not quite ready to hit that one. Late reaction on the fastball. Count even at 2-2. That one breaks in the dirt. And the count will run full.
Got a slugger and Andrew Patrick on deck. Stigler just needs to get on.
Just get somebody on. You know, take it batter by batter. Just bring the next guy up. A full count. Swung and a missed. Foul tip back in the glove of Haskins. And Skomer has been everything is built up to be. Back-to-back strikeouts for 7 and 8, bringing up Andrew Patrick. The Joes down to their final out. Andrew Patrick 0 for 3. Fly out, a pair of ground outs. He'll square to bunt. That one's going up the third base line, but it's going to roll just foul. We've mentioned how good Patrick's speed's been all night.
Yeah, Patrick's very interesting because he's a big body. He looks like a guy that can hit home runs, and he can. He hits the ball really hard, but not maybe a guy that you would expect to have as much speed as he does. Was in the 99th percentile out of high school in his 60 time.
Yeah, I mentioned he ran a 6.2 just the other day in the prospect showcase. The 0-1. Gonna be thrown behind Andrew Patrick. Heard a fan yell. I don't know how much that had to play. But I think if I'm Andrew Patrick, I'm trying to throw everything in the way to try to get that.
Tell the umpire you're getting out of the way.
A 1-1. That'll miss off the plate. Bounces off the glove of Haskins. Bug situation up here in the press box. We're trying to deal with one that flew right in front of me. I knocked it down. Had to knock it away. 2 balls, 1 strike. Still 2 outs. Andrew Patrick trying to work his way on. Swings right through that one. Joe's down to their final strike of the ball game. Two balls, 2 strikes. Andrew Patrick will call time. Two. 2 outs, nobody on for the Joes, who trail by 1. Scomer, 3 straight strikeouts. He's pumped up at the pitcher's mound, and rightfully so. That's a big save for Mark Scomer, as that is the end of the game for the Joes. We go to postgame in just a couple of minutes. Casual Pint postgame show. Lucas Poli will have that for you. We'll wrap things up, kind of talk about where we are around the league. The Joes going to drop a tough one here at Foundation Field. 4-3 our final score. You're watching the All Wealth Hamilton Joes Broadcast Network.
Back here inside Foundation Field, 4-3, Joes drop it to the Xenia Scouts in the first game of the back-to-back, as the Joes taking on Xenia and Cincinnati quite a bit, but it didn't do themselves any favors tonight as they dropped the close one in the GLSCL standings. 4-3 once again, your final, as we bring back in my broadcast partner, Blake Griffin. Blake, this was a back-and-forth affair throughout, and things just kind of cooled down on both sides late. It seemed like Joe's pitching able to get out of a couple of jams in this one, but the offense just not able to produce when it needed to.
Yeah, the pitching is there once again, as always, against these Scouts teams. They're always close games, close affairs, low-scoring battles between the two, as we see the Xenia Scouts get very happy on the first base line. They're also battling for this spot as well, as that's a big win for them. But yeah, it's just the offense was there, but it was there a little too late, and it was there and not the right times to get the win.
Well, fortunately for the Joes, as we look around the league, there were a lot of cross-divisional games played today. The only South Division teams that look like they're going to win are Southern Ohio, who's already done so, and Richmond, who split their doubleheader with the Michigan Monarchs in cross-divisional play. But as of right now, it doesn't look like the Joes should lose anything on anybody above them, as both Licking County and Cincinnati were run-ruled today. Licking County lost 11-1 to the Sandusky Ice Haulers in 7 innings from Denison University. Cincinnati losing 12-1 at Bob Wren Stadium to the Southern Ohio Copperheads. Also look at a few other games around the Great Lakes League. Richmond Jazz defeating the Michigan Monarchs, who are in first place in the GLSCL. Big win for Richmond in Game 1 of that series, 3-1 the final. And in Game 2, Michigan will rebound from Siena Heights and pick up the 5-1 win. Also going on around the Great Lakes Summer Collegiate League in the North Division, the Muskegon Clippers defeating Jetbox Baseball Club 11-4, and currently in the top of the ninth from Simmons Field, Locos looking to close it out over the Grand Lake Mariners, 13-8 our score. Rough day for the South Division overall, as in the cross-divisional games, they've only been able to pick up one win so far, as those kicked off tonight. But as mentioned, Licking County going to fall to 19-13, Cincinnati now 17-14, and the Joes 17-15. So Xenia, who's nipping at your heels, moves up a game closer to you, now just trailing Hamilton by one game, but things didn't really move too much at the top as everybody stayed exactly where they were, with the top three teams in the South Division all falling tonight. Winning pitcher in this one for the Xenia Scouts was Grayson Munyon, who pitched 2 innings in relief of Jake Wells, gave up 1 hit, 1 walk, and 2 strikeouts. The losing pitcher for the Joes was Travis Smith, who pitched 2 innings and gave up just the 1 run, but it was the decider late in the top of the 7th as the Scouts would take the back of Tyler Haskins to win this game, as he would come across on a walk after being bunted over and then reaching third base on a wild pitch. He would come in to score, and that would be the deciding factor in this game. Joes and Scouts back at it tomorrow. 7:05 start from Foundation Field. Baseball on a Friday night. Push for the playoff continues, Blake, as it's just going to get more and more intense. We certainly saw emotions running high tonight, and that's only going to be more so to the extreme as we get closer and closer to playoff time.
Yeah, this is almost like the October of, or rather September of the MLB. Everybody's going to have the tempers up high as they're all just trying to make the postseason and kind of make their mark in this GLSCL league. It's just going to be a fun bit of baseball to watch down the stretch.
Absolutely. Joes today 3 runs off 6 hits, 1 error, left 6 on base. Xenia with 4 runs off 9 hits, 2 errors, left 11 on base. Tim Cole, head coach for the Xenia Scouts, was ejected in this one, which means that he likely will not be able to coach in Game 2 of the back-to-back tomorrow. Well, we'll be on air for it. Blake and I will have the call, as always, with every game here on the All Wealth Hamilton Joes Broadcast Network. Joes and Scouts doing battle once again tomorrow in yet another big game, as they're all going to be when we head down the stretch. Coverage begins at 6:45 tomorrow from Foundation Field, but tonight that'll wrap up our coverage as we close out here with some Thursday night baseball from Hamilton. Xenia takes it 4-3 for my broadcast partner Blake Griffin, all of our hardworking crew here at the Hamilton Joes. We'd like to say thank you so much for watching. We'll see you tomorrow, 6:45. Coverage begins. Joes and Scouts again. Until then, Luke Westpoli saying so long. Go Joes.